So today I'm going to be reviewing a ton of new makeup I tried over the past month. Some of these things I purchased last month and some of these were in this month's haul, but I already had tested and reviewed them. So I have my thoughts already, which is great because I still have a lot of things that I'm going to need to be testing over the next couple of months. So only a couple of eye products. You guys are gonna be sick of me saying this. Also from the Flip app, they have almost like everything from Kosas. This is the Brow Pop Nano, which I've been wanting to try, and I got it in a taupe shade because they do not make this pencil in honey blonde, which I like better. But this is a spoolie. This is the tiniest brow pencil ever. I did compare this to Benefit Precisely My Brow, which I use every day. It's a holy grail. And this is more precise. It was very creamy. I only twisted up a little bit because I was so afraid of it breaking. It didn't break. Doesn't mean that it won't, but it didn't, which is wonderful. And I think that this was super nice, a really great consistency between waxy and creaminess. It went on to skin super nicely. I really need to follow some brow tutorials about how to create natural brow-like, hair-like strokes and try it with this. I feel like that would be the perfect pencil to try it with. If you have any specific tutorials you recommend, please let me know. But again, if this is a holy grail product of yours, get it from Flip because you'll be able to get like 50% discount, like minimum. So that will be an amazing place to stock up. Unfortunately, they do not sell Benefit there. So this is from Half Magic. This is their Glitter Puck, which is pressed fairy dust for eyes, face, and body. And this is gigantic. I have been keeping this little spongy doodad in here just to help to keep it from breaking and holding a little bit of moisture because this isn't a cream product, but there is this somewhat of like wetness to it. When you put it on the eye, it has a cooling feeling, and this is just a beautiful shade. And I have used this several times over the past month to like on its own as a lid shade over top of a cream base, or I will take it on my finger and sort of press it on the center of my lid on top of another eyeshadow. And I've really liked it so far. I think it's very beautiful. It's really big. It's a ton of product, but if you were using it on your face or your body, then that might be perfect. But I really enjoy this, and I think it would be awesome if they came out with more shades. But you guys know me, especially in the spring, I love a peachy pink, so this is a perfect shade for me. I really do enjoy this and recommend it. I hope they'll add honey blonde and a few other shades in the future, but taupe does work well enough for me. Next, we have a couple of products from Buxom's Dolly Glam Getaway collection, which I was sent in PR, which is so nice. I do have like swatch posts, and I did do a demo video of everything. And for the palette and the eyeliner, I'm actually decluttering both of them. I just don't think that Buxom shadows are very good. I think they're old eyeshadows that were like where you can make your own palette. Those are really nice. And these just are not it. They're just a little bit more dusty. And I know it might sound that way because of the colors here, but no, it's the formula that feels dusty to me. And I just I'm not loving it as much. I did create a nice look, but I feel like it really, this shade barely shows up, really need to be built up. The shimmers were, you know, a little bit sparkly, but it just like a little bit too thin and dusty for my preference. So I just would not recommend Buxom palettes. I have another one that's like a neutral palette I like a little bit more, but that's just not it. And then the liner is the Power Line Lasting Liner in Midnight Sparkle, which is a shimmery black. When I was using this and when I was swatching it, it broke, which is nuts. This is a thick pencil, so you wouldn't think that that would need to be a concern. It might be because of the shimmer in here. Maybe it's making this a little bit more dry. I feel like I had to go back and forth a couple of times to build this up on the eye, so I would not recommend this liner. I love the shape of it because you are able to do like a thin or a thick line. I haven't tried other shades of this liner. I would love to, the way I can see if it really is like this one that's not good or the line as a whole, but I'm feeling like the sparkle is adding to the challenge with that. And then what I'm wearing on my eyes today is the Too Faced Apple Love palette. I cannot believe I received this in PR. It was amazing. I need to use this more. I've only created 3 looks with it so far, but this is your standard Too Faced quality. I think it's very good, like the standard tin packaging quality. The mattes are very pigmented and blendable, and the shimmers are really nice. I'm wearing this shade Bite Me today. I love the color of it, but it is like a satin. I wish this was more metallic, like this shade here, which is incredible. That's Sparkling Cider. I wish it was a little bit more metallic, but it's still very beautiful. I was really happy with the way that these looked in the eye. I think I'll use all of them except this Pick Me shade. Like this type of green is like not me, but I really like this color. And this does have that apple cinnamon type of scent, which I actually quite enjoy. I love that scent for fall. It's my favorite type of home fragrance. So I do think that this is great quality. If you like these shades, I don't think you'd be disappointed, but I'm sure that this is going to end up going on sale later if you want to hold out. Okay, here I am several hours later to review the lip products, so I apologize if the lighting and the camera angle is different. My makeup definitely looks a little bit more busted. I had a session. I went to pick up my daughter from daycare, took her to a doctor's appointment, got my son from preschool. So there's been a lot of wear going on, and it is a little bit hot outside. So I still have a whole basket of lippies. So let's start with a balm. This is the Buxom Powerful Plump and Repair Lip Butter. And this is a lip butter that feels like a good name for it because it is a slightly thicker lip balm and it is a little bit more matte. Now it's not like the Kaja Love Blurs, not that kind of matte texture, but it is not going to give you shine. It really is just hydration. I was a little nervous about this at first because from this Powerful Plump line, I had tried their pH changing lip balm in Big O, and that one really dried my lips out, and this is just nice and hydrating. I don't think it's gonna be my favorite lip balm of all time, but I do think it's a good product. I'll be happy to use it up, but probably won't repurchase. Next, I have 3 different lip plumping type of products, which I don't try too often, which is so funny because I remember back, I want to say in high school, I was buying all kinds of lip plumpers, mascaras and lip plumpers. I was buying them like crazy because I always just wanted to try them to see what was the best one, which is just funny that that's where I started. But I have got a couple different formulas here that I wanted to update you on. I don't think I've shared about this one yet. This is the Milani Keep It Full Max Bombshell Plumping Lip Balm. And this is one of the more burning lip balms. It's not cooling. So the Keep It Full lip gloss line from Milani is more cooling, where the Max version is a little bit more burning. And when I was using this, the texture actually reminds me a lot of the Buxom Plump Shot Collagen Lip Serum because it is more of that serum consistency. It doesn't feel just like a gloss. I don't know if you'll see a difference in the shine. This is the Milani, that's the Buxom. I want to say that the Milani is a bit more shiny and the Milani is slightly stickier than the Buxom, but I would say that this is a pretty good dupe. If you love the Buxom one and want to save some money, then go for the Milani. But the Buxom does also come in some shimmer shades and some cream shades if you like a burning plumping gloss that has color. But this is not over the top for me, but it is like a little bit intense at first, but then it dies down pretty quickly. And because of that more serumy consistency that these both have, I find that to be hydrating, cooling, and comforting on my lips to help tame down that intensity. So I think that these are both really great products. Really would want to recommend this. And then we have 2 more burning ones. So this is from Polite Society, the Big Mouth Lip Plumping Oil Gloss. This is one of the more burning lippies that I've tried, and it does have an interesting big felt applicator, and this has a cinnamon scent, and this does feel like a bunch of bees stinging your lips, and you have a lot of really glossy shine, which is nice. And this is a little bit sticky, but it's smooth. I think it feels nice on the lips, but this is actually something that I might pass on just because I prefer lip balms that are a little bit intense but not quite stinging. Like, these are not to the same bee sting type of level. But similarly, we've got the Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump and Caramel Apple. I got this one in PR. I love the color of this. It is so pretty. It's just like a sheer warm peachy color, and the scent is incredible. Now this one does give you cinnamon, but because it's caramel apple, it smells so good. This is very intense at first. Both of these absolutely make your lips look fuller, but in that you got stung by a bee, irritated away. I think it looks pretty and it's definitely effective, but it's like, yow. But once the stinging wears down of the Too Faced, which takes a little bit, I didn't time it for you, but for me it took over a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. It took a while to actually calm down, but I love this color so much. But I would love for this to be a gloss that I could just like slap on all throughout the day. But if I put this on every hour before a session, I feel like that would be too much. I might do it for you guys for experiment's sake, and maybe after using it for so long I would get used to it. So I'll have to, for experiment's sake, I will test that for you guys. But I love the color of this, and I really do like the texture of the actual gloss once the stinging wears away. Next I have 3 lip liners. So the first one is from Dibs Beauty. This is their lip contour pencil in light. I think I will post, I haven't yet, but I do think I will post this video to Instagram and TikTok, because it's, again, like that corrector where it's more of like an experiment. I don't know if I'm using this properly, so this is where I would love to hear from you guys, because I know like Pat McGrath has a contour lip pencil that's super popular that I know Kathleen Lights loves. Are you supposed to use something like this and then a lip liner like inside of it and then a lip product? I would love to know the best way to use this, because right now it's looking like a cool tone brown lip liner. And am I supposed to be shading it or just lining it? I don't know the proper way, but this is a nice creamy formula. However, I think it's $12 for this tiny size, which I think is silly. And in my video, I did compare this to the little mini Rare Beauty lip liners. And I feel like the formula of this is really similar to the Sephora Rouge Gel lip liners, which are the same price as these, except full size. They come in a million colors. So I would say probably go for the Sephora ones, and there probably is a like contour type of shade. But I do think that this is nice. I've worn it a couple of times and it was really fun to try out, but I would love to hear your thoughts. I believe they have 3 different lip contour shades, and then there's like 6 or 8 lip liners. I got that from Flip, same as this. This is the Kosas Hot Liner Hyaluronic Acid Contouring Lip Pencil. There are like 8 or 10 shades in this line, I think, but Flip only has 5 of them. And I chose the most pink shade, and that would be Mega. And this is described as a cool pink. I don't feel like it's that cool, which is perfect because I don't wear blue tone pinks really. And it is like the same type of lip liner packaging and formula. Here is that color, which is a great mauve pink. I think that this will be wonderful in wintertime. I don't think this shade range is very good. Same like the Kosas lipsticks, they just love a warm peachy lip, which I do too, but I wish that there was more variety. I think that this is a great pink though. I would be interested in trying some other shades. I find these similar, very creamy, long lasting, and they do stay in place. If you are trying to fill in your lips completely, you will have like a little bit of like a sticky drag. I never fill in my lips completely, but in case that is something you like to do, just know that. But it was still easy enough to do. Let me swatch this Dibs one. But again, I think that these work the same. If you want to get it from Flip, it'd be a great price, but otherwise I think that this is good. But the Sephora lip liners are just as good. There is the Dibs swatch. And then in Buxom's newer collection, we have the Power Lime Plumping Lip Liner in Magnetic Mauve. And this has the same shape as the eyeliner. And this is happening here as well. The lip liner is breaking, which again is weird because I'm panning a mini right now, which minis usually break, and I'm having no issues with it. So I don't know if it's just something about the ones that I have or about the collection. When I'm swatching it on my hand, it feels a lot creamier than the eyeliner did. It did go on the lips easily. Here's what that shade looks like. So it is a mauve, I guess, but this is a little bit more of like a lavender to me, which is pretty, but I feel like I'm only going to use it with specific looks. I do think this is a nice formula though, especially if you like to line your lips and then shade the corners. This was very easy to do. Again, a creamy formula, but it will stay in place. So I do recommend this line. Next I have the Buxom Full On Satin Lipstick in Pink Crush. I really love this shape of the bullet. It is easy to stain your lip lines, and I feel like with this you don't have to use a lip liner with it and it will apply quite easily. It is a little bit confusing to me that this goes with this line because it is darker than the lip liner. If you were to want to use them together, it is darker and more rosy without that like purple lavender like the liner has. But I do think that this is a really nice formula. It's a fully opaque lipstick, and I think satin describes it perfectly because it's not dry and matte, but it's also not heavy or goopy. I really do think that this is a good line. I hope that they will extend the shade range and continue to have these in limited edition collections, which they've done for the past several collections, which is exciting. And then I finally tried the MAC Squirt Balms, and I bought 3 shades and I do love them, thank goodness. Now, these are more sheer than the Mario ones. So in one of my recent videos, I wore this color Simulation, which is a cool tone brown. And I had compared these to some of the Juvia's Place volumizing gloss sticks, and I liked the undertone of this one better on my lips, but this one is super sheer. So I do think that this will benefit to having a lip liner. And depending on the pigmentation of your lips, this shade might not do a whole ton, but it is unique to my collection. And then we've got these bright shades, which is cool because I don't really wear bright lips. So this is a great way for me to have more of a wash of that. So this like hot orange is called Heat Sensor. So pretty. And then the bright pink is called Amped. You can see that right there. So these are super glossy. They can be a little bit goopy, and they do have that menthol cooling sensation, which I personally love. But I know for some people that can be irritating, and also for some people that can dry their lips out. That doesn't usually happen to me. So I think these are great. I would love to see them come out with more shades. And again, I just love having that bright wash of color, which is very fun. Also, where I had some lip plumper down here, my hand skin was like irritated. Oh, that was the Too Faced maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what I put down there. Then in a similar vein, I got another shade of the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Gloss Balm. They released 3 brighter shades for summer, and this one is called Passenger Princess. And I will have to insert a picture of what this looks like next to Guava Glaze so you can see the difference. But this one has a lot more pink in it, where Guava Glaze is warmer. You'll see more of that like peachy coral. This is very beautiful. This is another kind of like menthol-y formula, super glossy. These can get a little bit messy. I really enjoy these. I, again, hope they continue to expand the shade range because I will definitely buy more of these in the future. And it is a really nice, again, sheer bright wash of color. Next, we have what I'm wearing on my lips today. This is from Selfie. This is their Lassie Lips Staining Lip Oil in Rose. And this is a beautiful mauve color. And let me just pop on a little bit more. I do think that this is very similar to the different formulas, like there are beauty ones like the Romande. Very, very similar because you do have that smooth, shiny lip look, and it is a little bit cushiony, which is nice, and it will leave a stain behind. And I do feel like this is a really nice shade range. There are some brighter shades, some deeper shades. You have this lighter rose, and then you have caramel or Caramel, which is like a light warm brown. I'm definitely drawn to that one. It's nice seeing everyday shades in a stain. They do stain, which is great. It stains evenly and it does fade, but this also is a color similar to my skin tone, so it's not as noticeable. And these do not dry my lips out. A lot of other lip stains are quite drying. There also is no scent or flavor that I can detect, where a lot of other lip stains there is a little something going on. So I do think this is a nice formula. I'm on the fence about picking up Caramel as well, because I just don't use my lip stains as much as my other products. But if you are drawn to a shade or interested in the formula, I do think it's a really good one. State of Kate recently just did, well, she did it today as when I'm filming this, but she posted a video trying them all on and giving her thoughts, and she was really impressed with these as well. She did say that the deepest shade did leak out of the packaging. Other people said that about that shade in particular as well. And then we have a bunch of glosses. So from ColourPop, this is the So Juicy Plumping Glossy Lip Oil. And from what I had seen of these, a lot of them were a bit more sheer. And Emily Noel recently did a video about lip oils, and I agree with her. I wish that brands would specify whether something was a cream or a sheer, because a lot of times we're wanting a specific amount of opacity. So for me, I just picked up one shade because I could not tell which ones were sheer, except from the few swatches I'd seen at the time I purchased this. I knew that this one had some pigment. So this is called Hits Diff. And here's another thing everybody hates. I'm with them. You have to be so careful when you pull it out, because the applicator is a little bit too big. And if you just go for it, product is going to jump out, which is so annoying. I love this color. This is definitely an easy shade to wear, a color I would really like. I'm getting a little bit of a mint scent. I honestly can't remember scent wise, and it's not super strong right now, and I've got a lot of other kind of smells going on with my hand, but this does give a nice amount of color. It is really glossy. It does feel smooth on the lips. As it wears off, it is going to have like a slight tack behind, but I do think that this is a really nice tinted lip oil formula. Not too sticky, not too greasy, not too thick. I do like these. If they expand the shade range, I would buy another one. Next, I have the Milk Makeup Odyssey Lip Oil Gloss. This is in Work Trip. It's a really pretty mauve shade. And I would say that with, oh, this is the applicator. I would say that with this specific color, I get a bit more of a light medium opacity, which is totally fine. And this is a really nice formula. So this is an oil gloss. That's a perfect name for it, because it is like a smooth gloss. It's slightly thinner, not as thin as Tower 28, but it feels really milky and nourishing on the lips. They did just add a couple more shades, which I do want to pick up the creams. Let me know if you've tried any of the shimmers. There's like a coral shimmer that I need to go to Sephora to swatch, but this is a really good gloss line, and the original shades are available on Flip if you want to get them half off. I did buy another shade, which you will see in next month's haul. And we're gonna end this with a couple of Buxom limited edition glosses. These were from last year or the year before. I got them on Flip, and then these ones I got in PR. And I wanted to compare a couple of the shimmers. So I have 2 lip polishes and 2 lip creams. So starting with the glosses that are from this Dolly's Glam Getaway collection, which has this really pretty packaging. The first one is Golden Dolly. It looks really pretty in the packaging, but on the lips it just essentially looks like a clear gloss. You don't notice the shimmer and sparkle in here as much, so I would say that one's not a must-have, just because the color doesn't really stand out. It's more about like the shimmer. And then the lip cream is Berry Spritz. I was scared of this color, but when I wore it, oh my gosh, I thought it was the most beautiful purple shade, and I absolutely loved it. So I can see myself wearing this a lot in the winter time. Now let me show you these other ones that were limited. Again, you can get them on Flip. So this is the new one, Golden Dolly, and this is Dolly Glit. So they are very different. And this one, while it is pretty multi-dimensional in here, you've got gold and like hot pink reflex. This does have a little bit more base pigment, which is nice. I'll swatch it next to the other one. Still not a ton, but more. So I feel like this one is more worth picking up because it is going to show up more. Really loved this. And then from that same collection, the lip cream was called Dolly Glamourtini. Not exactly my go-to type of color, but it actually looks really beautiful on the lips, and I do think gives a nice amount of pigmentation. The Buxom glosses are the only sticky glosses that I like because these are a little bit thicker. They give so much glossy shine to them. They do stay on the lips nicely, and they will, you know, like your hair will get stuck in them if the wind is blowing, but they feel comfortable to me. They do have that cooling minty sensation, and I love both of these lines. So the lip polishes are a little bit more shimmery and usually have less pigment. I do have a couple shades that are more pigmented than others, but usually these are a bit more sheer, and the creams have a bit more of like a medium opacity to them, I would say. But absolutely love and recommend all of those. Like I said, that one Golden Dolly shade, I would say I would recommend the least out of these just because it has the least amount of pigment. Hey guys, I wanted to jump back in to review a few products that I forgot. Two things were returns, and one of them is declutter. So for the returns, first would be the Iconic London Blurring Skin Tint in Fair Neutral or Neutral Fair, and I finally picked this up after wanting to try it for forever. And for a skin tint, this does give a really beautiful light medium coverage. It does give a glow to the skin, and I found that at the end of the day I was very greasy. The product had worn off on the whole bottom half of my face. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I have kids that touch my face, but still I do feel like it wore off more than other products do, and it could have been helped with some other more mattifying products, but I just felt like it would take a lot of work, and I don't touch up very often throughout the day at work. When I'm in the office, I don't really bring products with me. I just go to the bathroom and use a piece of toilet paper to try to soak up some oil. So it just felt like it wasn't the best for really oily skin. If you have normal combo skin, I think it would be a great product, and it goes on sale half off at Sephora basically every time there is some sort of like a holiday sale, but you can buy the product on Flip if you want to get it more discounted. I also had tried the One Size Beauty and Wicked highlighter, and it was a beautiful product. It was a really pretty gold shade, but when I compared it to the other highlights I have in my collection, I had nothing that was exact, but a lot of highlights that were super similar. It's very similar to Ofra's Rodeo Drive, and I think it was a really amazing formula though. It was pigmented, it was metallic, but it looked smooth on the skin. There was no chunky glitter in there, and I would love to see them make other shades in that formula, and I think I would be all over it. It was, again, just too similar to what I have, and really that was a bit of an impulse buy, unfortunately. And then the other product would be, as I said, something I'm decluttering. These are the Kaja Love Blur lip balms, and I feel like I've not gotten on with a lot of different Kaja lip products, but not because the quality is bad, just because they are not my lip product preference. You guys know I love this sort of like melty balm. Matte balms, not quite for me, and I also don't really find that they're not like necessarily as drying as a matte lipstick, but I don't find these to be hydrating. They have a clear shade, but I wouldn't recommend picking that up to use as a balm. Like, there are plenty of other lip balms that actually hydrate more, and I will try to remember to have my lip swatch video down below and my hand swatch post so you guys can see all of the colors. I decided to keep these three, and they are buildable if you can see, but this is my heart, building it up. This is Sweet Bestie, and then a deep color is called Affection. These did look pretty on the lips, but again, I just prefer something either more glossy, more hydrating, more pigmented. I don't go for a blotted lip look, but if you do, I think that these would be nice. And again, I do think these are less drying than other more blotted lipstick formulas, but I just don't think that these feel like a balm. They are that like matte silicone texture. So it is very interesting. If I had a smaller collection, I would think about keeping these, or I would at least keep one, but I've learned I don't need to do that. I don't need to keep one of every product to have to compare. I am not necessarily that type of channel, and that's just a way to justify keeping something, which I already have a hard enough time doing. So I'm just gonna pass this on to some friends that would like these more. So I do think they're a nice product, just not for my makeup preference. But whoo, guys, those are my thoughts on all of the new beauty products that I tested over the past month. A lot of winners here, which is super exciting. I would love to hear your thoughts if you tried out these products, and I would just love to hear your thoughts on the new things that you've tried recently. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.